Well, hello everyone. It's Chef Jazzy John. We are back once again today. I hope everyone is doing great today. So today I decided we're going to take a trip down to the Caribbean. So today we're going to prepare some Caribbean curry chicken. A full flavored dish. It has all your ingredients as far as your protein, your vegetable, and your starch. So let's get right into this. I'm so excited about this dish today. I can't wait to eat it myself this evening. So let's go down our ingredient list. So the first thing is about 3 pounds of chicken. Of course, you know you can go up or down. I'm gonna show you how to cut it. And then I used about 2 bundles of green onions. And we have 1 chopped white onion. And then we have 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. We have 2 tablespoons of curry powder. We have 1 tablespoon of seasoned salt. I have 1 tablespoon of basil. I have 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And we have 1 tablespoon of poultry seasoning. And 1 tablespoon of black pepper. And 2 tablespoons of crushed garlic. And then here we have about half a bell pepper. Sorry about that. And then I have 4 potatoes cut up. And then I did about 6 potatoes that I've washed, cleaned, and sliced. And then we have about 4 to 6 fresh thyme leaves that we'll be using. Just take a look. And I'm gonna always throw in a couple of bay leaves. So let's get started. I'm excited about this dish. So with the chicken, I usually cut it. Well, let's take a look at this part. If I have a drumstick, I'll cut it into 2 pieces, just like that. If I have wings, I'll usually cut them. These are pretty small today, but I usually just cut the big part from the drumstick from the arm part and do it like that. If I have, a lot of times with the drumstick part, I will take my cleaver and chop them, cut them up. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get right into this. Let's go to work. So now we're gonna just pour all the chicken into my bowl. Make sure you guys can see. Okay, so now we're gonna add in our lemon juice. Our 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I'll just go all around it. That gives it that nice citrusy flavor. And then we're gonna add in our 2 tablespoons of cumin. And like I said, you can always add more because I probably will already as I look at it. And then I have a tablespoon of seasoned salt. I add all that in. And then we have our tablespoon of basil. And we have a tablespoon of poultry seasoning. And then we have a tablespoon of black pepper. And I have about 3 tablespoons of garlic. So now we have all those ingredients in. So now we're gonna pour in our 2 tablespoons of oil. And we're gonna just massage this all in. So it has all the seasonings on it. And actually what you can do, you can actually season this the night before and let it marinate in all these wonderful flavors with that great lemon juice and thyme and curry powder. That's all massaged in. Let me wash my hands. You know, when we deal with chicken, we always have to keep our hands clean. And actually, what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna add half of the vegetables in there. So I'm gonna take a handful of the green onions, maybe a little bit more. I'm gonna take a handful of the onions, of the white onions. Okay. I'm gonna put all the bell pepper in. Well, I'm gonna use about half of the bell pepper as well. Okay, so now I'm even going to take one of the thyme leaves and just kind of toss it in there, a couple of them. So we're going to massage it again. You can leave the whole stem in there. It's up to you. You'll get it later. So we're gonna just massage all of this in. If you could only smell this right now, you'd be like, wow. Okay, so there's all your ingredients. And like I said, you can actually do this the night before. So can you imagine the flavor that you would get at that point? Let me wash my hands one more time. Okay. So now, the main part is ready. That's the great part about this dish. It's basically a one-pot meal. So now we're going to be moving over to the stove and we'll start putting everything together. Okay. So now we are at the stove. I'm going to turn my stove on first of all. So now we're going to add in our 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And we're going to let that heat up a little bit. One thing I forgot to show you guys how I'm going to cut the carrots. How to cut the carrots. So once we get this started, we'll go back over that again. So now my vegetable oil is heating up. So this is where the thyme is really important. Now I like a lot of it because I love the flavor. And I have this little package. So I'm gonna just take and put a nice little handful in the bottom of my skillet. And like I said, the stems, you'll be able to pull them off once it starts cooking. You just pull it out. Okay. You would immediately start to smell the flavor of the thyme. This is one of the foundations of the dish. Okay, let that soak that up real good. And so now we're going to actually add in our onions, our white onions, all of them. I'm going to just use part of my green onions. I like to add a little bit on the top. So we're going to just do that. You're starting to hear it sizzle. Then once again, you'll start to smell it. That's when we need smell-o-vision. I mean, the first time I went to the islands and I had this dish, I was just crazy about it. Every day, I wanted to go eat some curry chicken. It was kind of funny, actually. So now we just let this sweat out a little bit. Let that cook down, let that flavor, let them soften up. And we'll take it from there. So now we're going to discuss cutting the carrots and the potatoes. So as far as the carrots, please make sure you wash your carrots very, very well. And then what I always do, I take a potato peeler and I just peel the skin off of them to get that coating off. Just makes them better. Makes them more tenderer, easier to get tender, I should say. There we go. Okay. I didn't get a chance to wash my cutting board. So basically we're gonna just take them, cut the end off, and you just slice them. Not too thick, not too thin. And the main thing is make sure that you try to stay consistent with your size so that they all basically get done at the same time. My thyme and bell peppers and onions are smelling wonderful over there. Okay, so now just add these onto there. And as far as the potatoes, I basically quarter the potato and then quarter it again. So basically you'll get 8 slices out of every potato. So back to the stove. Okay, we're back at the stove. You can see the thyme and onions cooking and smelling just wonderful. And the garlic. I'm gonna add a little more fresh garlic to it. And I'm gonna add in the red bell peppers as well while this is still cooking. I'm gonna turn up just a little bit. a nice medium-high heat will do the trick. Okay, we got all our pepper softened. And the thing that's so incredible about this dish is it makes its own water. I have never figured out how it does it, but it does. So now is the time we pour in our chicken. Pour in all of our chicken. And we're going to stir this around. Oh my God, this smells so wonderful. So now at this point, you're going to just put the top on this chicken. You're going to turn it down to a nice medium temperature. So you're going to turn it down, you're going to put the top on it, and you'll be amazed at how it's going to make its own water. You know, come back and check on it every 5 or so minutes and stir it up, but you'll see how it'll make its own water. Okay. So now it's time to take a look. We're going to stir this chicken and make sure that it's cooking all the way through. That those wonderful flavors are cooking right into that chicken. That your chicken is going to be getting really tender. Okay, we just let it continue to cook for about another 10-15 minutes. We'll check it again. Now, sometimes with curry chicken, sometimes I will add maybe 1 or 2 cups of water to it. Okay, we are back once again. Y'all can see the delicious curry chicken. I did not add any water. This is all the natural juice as the chicken begins to cook. So you see it is looking beautiful. It is smelling absolutely beautiful. So now I'm going to add in my carrots. I always like to make this a nice hearty dish. So it's enough for the whole family and even some more for leftovers. So okay, that's my carrots, that's my potatoes. So now I'm going to add in the rest of my spring onions, or my green onions. And I'm going to add a little more white onions. And I decided to add in, well, you can wait, but I'm adding a little bit more poultry seasoning. As you guys probably have noticed, I didn't add any salt into this because the poultry seasoning has salt. The seasoned salt is salt, so you really don't need any salt. And I've also decided to add in a little paprika. I should have this smoked paprika, just to kind of add on a little bit of flavor. Okay, but as you see, it is beautiful. Oh, and then I'm going to add in my 2 bay leaves also. Put them in that juice right there, in that gravy. Okay, we're going to stir all this up. And I added a little bit more curry powder. Like I said, most people will add more because that's the flavor that you really want to get, is that curry powder. Okay, you just stir this. And at this time, you can take your time and prepare the rice. You can do some jasmine rice. You can do some coconut rice. You can do noodles. And also, as you see, all of the thyme is gone off of the stem. I'll just put that right there to the side. Here's another one, but all the leaves are off of it. And at this point, we're going to let this cook for about another 20 minutes. You know, just to make sure the potatoes are soft and all that, and the chicken is basically done. It should be getting tender. And then the next 20 more minutes, of course, it's going to get even more tender. So basically, this is it. So let's cover it one more time, and then I'll see you guys in about 15-20 minutes, and we'll be ready to eat. Okay, we are ready. So here we go. Beautiful. The music is sounding great. This is with no water added. So all this made itself. This is its own self-made gravy. So now you see it's thickened up. And you know, from the potatoes also, it's going to help your gravy thicken up. The starch from the potatoes. But it is ready. At this point, you can add some more flavoring to it. That's totally up to you. You can add some more thyme. You can add some more curry powder. You can make it spicier if you want to. But this meal is ready. this dinner is ready. So I usually like to let it simmer till I see the chicken kind of falling off the bones. So that's kind of starting to happen. But basically this is it. This is authentic Caribbean curry chicken. And once again, you know, I always like to add different ingredients. You know, no recipe limits you. Because I always like to add the extra red bell pepper, things like that to give it that extra flavor. Add the paprika. So anything that you want to do to your dishes, all of my dishes are just guidelines. So just follow the guidelines. You can have any dish you would prefer, that you love. Okay, let's take it to the table. Let's take a taste. Well, we are back. Caribbean curry chicken is ready. I have to create smell-o-vision because this smells so wonderfully good. You see it has a nice thick gravy. And also if you want to add a little water to it, you can to make it stretch more, that's fine. I did put about a half cup. But you see it's nice and thick, it has lots of juice. So, have me a little scoop of rice. That's funny because I forgot to heat my rice up. But it's okay because this will heat everything up. So got my little scoop of rice. Even the professionals mess up sometimes. It's not really a mess up, but we're all human. And as long as we can fix the problem, we're good to go. So as you see, I had the potatoes, the carrots. And that's why I like putting a lot of vegetables in it, because it is a complete meal within itself. You can have you some cornbread or something with it, some crackers. So it's that time, everyone. I'll put this over here. Chef John, Caribbean curry chicken. The chicken is very tender. Matter of fact, the rice helped me because it cools it off a little bit. The chicken is super tender, super seasoned, super flavorful. The potatoes are perfect, the carrots. If you want to, you can even add some green bell pepper. I might even put some green beans in here, because they're just so good. So, once again, to everyone, Chef Jazzy John, Jamaican curry chicken. Signing off. Have a great day. Perfect.